Alright, you guys, today we're gonna check out how to make this badge in Illustrator. Let's select the type tool, and here we're gonna make the title. I'm gonna go with Panther, press and hold Shift plus Alt, scale it up, and I'm gonna change the font to Nexa Rust, and I'm gonna go with the first one, the black 2. Also, let's go to the paragraph, click on Align Center, because the whole composition is going to be symmetric. Press and hold Alt, drag it downwards. I'm also gonna press and hold Shift plus Alt to scale it down a little bit more, rename it, and I'm gonna go with the veneer font, but I'm gonna go with the very first one. I'm also gonna scale it up a little bit more, and now I'm gonna select the Panther text, press and hold Alt, drag it upwards, and I'm gonna go with the thirsty rough. I'm gonna press and hold Shift, scale it down a little bit more. I'm gonna rename it uppercase, lowercase, Transylvania, and we're gonna position it accordingly. Alright, I'm gonna create a new one. I'm gonna press and hold Shift plus Alt, scale it down. I'm gonna put it somewhere here, double click, ESTD established. I'm gonna go with the Langdon typo. I'm also thinking to reduce the distance in between the letters. I'm gonna go with -25, probably gonna increase it a little bit more. And I'm gonna press and hold Alt, drag it into the opposite direction. Also press Shift to isolate. I'm gonna go somewhere here, established in 2019. There you go. Next time I'm gonna bring my logo in. This is a grungy version. I'm gonna position it under the vision, something like this. I'm gonna copy paste the ESTD, press and hold Alt. I'm gonna rename it Country of Origin and Europe. And last but not least, we're gonna try to create this curvy text that is going to go around. So I'm gonna select the circle, press and hold Shift plus Alt, create a perfect circle. I'm gonna swap it from fill to stroke, something like that. Press and hold Shift, scale it. I'm gonna select the direct selection tool and select the stop anchor point right here. Press on delete. Now we're left with the bottom half circle. I'm gonna position it something like this. Now let's select the type tool. I'm gonna go type in here. And as you can see, if I position the arrow right here on the line, it's going to change up the icon. So I'm gonna click on here, and I'm also gonna decrease the font size, something like this. And I'm gonna write out the full title. And as you can see, the whole thing goes out here into the invisible, which is not good. So I'm gonna go select the selection tool. And as you can see, we got here a line with a little bit of rectangle here. So if you go on it, on this line, you can see on the mouse's arrow, it's gonna show up another arrow pointing on the right. So all you need to do is just drag it to the right, and as you can see, it's going to bring the text out. And we're gonna need to move this line all the way into the opposite direction. So as you can see, we got this line with this little square here on the right, and on the left side, we also got the same thing at the same position, almost 100%. It's not perfect, but it should be something like this. And if you go here to the center, you can see a third line, which is here. So basically, if you move the mouse on this little line, it is going to add another arrow pointing upwards actually. So I'm gonna bring this upwards, bring it in like this. So if you drag it down, it's going to look upside down in the exterior. And if you bring it up, it is going to go in the interior part of the text. And make sure that this line is centered perfectly in the center somewhere. And I'm also gonna change up the font, and I'm gonna go with veneer, regular, increase the size. I'm also gonna increase the distance in between the letters. So I'm gonna go with 50, and I'm gonna decrease the font size a little bit more, something like this. Now, as you can see, nothing is aligned perfectly. So I'm gonna go select the 2019, press and hold Shift, also select the ESTD, press Ctrl G to group them. And I'm also gonna select these two guys, press Ctrl G to group them. Select all the composition here, and I'm gonna go and select the main title. So it's gonna highlight, everything is selected, and the main title now is highlighted. So if I'm gonna go here to the line to align it to the center, it is going to align it accordingly to the main title here. And now the composition looks something like this. And this is how I make this badge here in Illustrator. Thanks for watching.